Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Adam Levenson, Senior Director of Business Development and Marketing at Waves. Thanks for joining us, Adam.
Great to be here, Fred. Thanks for having me.
For some of our listeners who may not have heard of Waves, give us the overview of what you're all about.
Sure. So Waves is a company that has been around for almost 3 decades in the audio technology space. Back in the early 90s, Waves really turned the audio technology industry on its head by introducing software that could do the processing work that had previously been done by studio hardware gear, studio hardware modules, these boxes with lots of knobs and sliders on them and blinking lights. And back then, no one believed that software could do the job of these powerful hardware boxes, which were also very expensive. And Waves came up with these truly innovative algorithms that allowed sound engineers to do things that were really unimaginable on those hardware devices at the same quality. So that was back in the early 90s. And later on, Waves came up with this truly pioneering concept to take those same algorithms and move them over into consumer electronics devices, such as laptops and later on smartphones, and any other consumer electronics device that you can imagine that has speakers. So they took these algorithms that had transformed the sound engineering world and brought them into consumer electronics devices, where they transformed the sound quality of music and movies and anything else you use your devices for over these, small speakers. So that is sort of the brief history. In 2011, Waves was honored with a Technical Grammy Award to recognize the contribution that Waves has made and continues to make to both the pro audio industry and now in consumer electronics. At this point, Waves is found in literally millions of consumer devices from major companies including Dell and Acer, Google, and many, many more companies that you guys are familiar with.
Well, what you're showing off at the Consumer Electronics Show is some cool new stuff. Give us the overview of what it is that you're displaying.
Sure. So back in 2016, Waves came up with this concept of 3D audio. Now, that wasn't a new idea. You guys probably heard about different kinds of 3D audio from our competitors. There's a lot of different options out there now. Actually, it's pretty confusing. We went from stereo to surround sound, and now 3D, or sometimes it's called 360 or spatial audio, is really the talk of the town. The Waves solution that they innovated back in 2016 was a different, unique idea. Instead of just playing back spatial audio or 3D audio through speakers or through headphones, Waves came up with this concept of a virtual acoustic space. So again, remember how I talked about Waves got started as a sound engineering company, really, as an audio engineering software company. So our whole philosophy, our DNA, our heritage comes from that space. And in that space, sound quality is number one. You can't colorize the sound. You want to stay true and genuine to the sound that the mixers and the sound engineers are actually trying to achieve. So this concept of a virtual acoustic space came up from the idea of giving audio engineers, sound engineers, the ability to mix, to create soundtracks, to produce music outside of the studio with headphones. So right now, the laptop is like, the music production or the sound engineering or the the movie mixing machine. Everybody uses laptops, but you still have to be in a recording studio because you need great speakers to make great sounding music or great sounding movies or great sounding videos. Waves created a technology called NX. NX for headphones gives you the ability to put on a pair of headphones and be in a virtual acoustic space. In other words, you are virtually in a recording studio. The thing with headphones is that when you put headphones on and you listen to music or whatever you listen to, it's in your head, right? That is not a good scenario for music producers or sound engineers. Waves NX externalizes the sound, just like a speaker. So it sounds as if you're in a space. That is the whole concept behind NX. Whereas the other competing 3D audio technologies or spatial audio technologies just play back or what's called render sound out of speakers or out of headphones, we put you in a virtual space. Now, what's happening at CES is a big advancement in that technology. At CES, we are announcing NX speakers. So previously, NX was on headphones only. Now we have innovated a way to make NX possible over speakers. Now, here is the key to NX. In addition to that virtual space idea, we innovated this concept of head tracking. Now, we're all familiar with head tracking in VR, but imagine head tracking when listening to music. What it does is it anchors the sound relative to your head position. So if I'm staring straight at an orchestra, I feel that the orchestra is in front of me. If I turn my head with regular headphones, the orchestra moves with me. The orchestra I'm looking at, perhaps in a video, or even just in my imagination because I'm listening to music, is in front of me. When I turn my head, it moves with me. That's not our normal, natural listening experience. Our normal listening experience is we turn our heads, for example, to the right, and the orchestra appears to be mostly coming into our left ear because we're looking to the right. Same vice versa. We turn our head all the way to the left, the orchestra seems to be mostly in our right ear. This head tracking technology that is included in NX on headphones gives you that advantage. You're locked, you're anchored into the source. On speakers, we use head tracking for a different reason, but it's equally as important. NX on speakers also uses head tracking, but what it does is it tracks your position so that you are constantly in what's called the sweet spot. When you're listening to 3D audio through speakers from other technology providers, from our competitors, one of the issues is typically that if you move a little bit off axis from the device or from the speakers, or you turn your head, or you move a little left or a little right, the sound quality is very impacted because you're not exactly in the center. With head tracking, NX speakers always keeps you in that sweet spot, so it always sounds great, even if you're significantly off axis. For example, if you have a laptop in front of you and you move to the right or you move to the left, and you have NX speakers, the music you're listening to, the movie that you're watching still sounds wonderfully spatial, wonderfully 3D, and as I said before, it's all about fidelity. We preserve the fidelity of the original. It sounds wonderfully high fidelity. So those are a couple of the major differentiators with our 3D audio solution, and we're introducing that NX speakers, that new technology at CES this year.
That's really exciting. So what is it in the speakers that enables it to track your head position?
Excellent question. It's actually not in the speakers. It requires either a webcam or in some instances, it can be built into the headphones. So a great example of that is, for NX headphones, head tracking built in is a product called Odyssey Mobius. We also have a product with HyperX called the Cloud Orbit S, also has head tracking. On speakers, you need to have a webcam or some other camera device to know where your head is.
Really interesting. So you're working with partners and bringing this technology to market.
Well, we do all of our own development. However, I think your point is good. We are a B2B, a business-to-business type of company. So we provide solutions to, what are called the original equipment manufacturers of the world, including Dell and Acer, like I mentioned before, and headphone companies like HyperX, Turtle Beach, Odyssey, and many more.
When will the new technology be available for consumers to check out?
So the exciting thing is that we're announcing this technology. It's ready to go. It is ready to rock at CES, and very soon you're going to see this appear in consumer devices within the next few months, actually.
Really exciting. Is there a place online that people can go to get more of an idea as to what's going on with the tech?
Absolutely. When Waves started the Consumer Electronics Device Project, this pioneering idea to bring the algorithms into consumer electronics devices back in the 90s, the product, the brand was Max, M-A-X-X. And that continues to be the brand umbrella for our consumer electronics work. And so if you go to maxx.com, max.com, you'll learn about all of the wonderful consumer electronics technology development that we're doing and have done. In addition, you can go to waves.com, waves.com, to learn about our Pro Audio division and all the amazing stuff that Waves does for essentially most, if not almost all, of the popular music we listen to, the hit movies that we watch, and the top-selling games that we play with.
Sounds great, no pun intended. Adam Levenson, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Fred.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations, and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.